Matt Damon's haircut, like I kept making cracks and cracking jokes the whole time because he had a mullet with like
he couldn't decide how he wanted his hair.
He had his normal cut and his normal fade with a mullet, and it was like,
look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
Today we will be reviewing directed by Ridley Scott and written by Nicole Holofcener, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon, all writing in this movie.
And starring Ben Affleck, Matt Damon,
and Adam Driver.
Adam Driver, and the star, the true star of the show.
And Jodie Comer. Who's done a few things.
Yeah. If you don't know her, you will after you watch this movie. She steals the show, in my opinion. But now we will
She's from Free Guy, Killing Eve, a few other movies, so you would recognize her as an actress. She's the lead woman in this movie. So, boom! Cheers. Start us off. Yeah. You start us off.
This show is obviously directed by Ridley Scott. So Jason has been talking about it for a long time. He wanted to go see it when it was in theater, and we just never got around to it. And it came out on HBO Max about 2 weeks ago, right?
No, like last Friday or something like that.
And so we watched it, and at first I was ready to turn it off. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was like, what is this? This is a movie that was beautiful, but it just seemed a little silly and redundant. But about 30 minutes in, I am very, very, very glad that we watched the whole movie, and I ended up absolutely loving it. I mean, I don't know if I would call it one of my favorite flicks, but I would definitely say that it was a nice surprise. How did you feel about it?
I'm gonna have to agree. At first,
we gotta stop agreeing on everything.
No, but this is it's true though. At the beginning of the movie, so I didn't know where the story was going. Matt Damon's haircut. Matt Damon's haircut. I kept making cracks and cracking jokes the whole time because he had a mullet with like
he couldn't decide how he wanted his hair.
He had his normal cut and his normal fade with a mullet, and it was like. So I
and then sometimes the fade would go in.
No, they just let it grow in just for that one scene. But I feel like they should have done that the whole movie. They should have something like that. So it just was that cut was throwing me off.
Really quick, will you? Oh, you did it in the skit. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
And then his accent too. It's not. I don't want to say it's Matt's fault because he was probably saying how it was. Well, he's one of the writers, so. But Matt's accent was a little bit. It was a little bit like.
I kind of wish he had a dialect coach on set, and you can tell he didn't.
But I was also going to say that it felt like it got better throughout the movie.
I don't know
unless
if his
the movie got better.
Yeah, I don't think his accent got any better. I think that he got more into his character, and you just enjoyed the film. That you appreciated his character. He put more into his character, but he didn't put more into his accent. And again, it's not necessarily his fault, but if he had a dialect coach, maybe that would have helped. And he didn't.
Cheers to Matt Damon.
Cheers, Matt.
Matt Damon, his accent and his wig. It grows on you throughout. Although his hair doesn't grow, it stays the same because they got like some incredible barbers back in those medieval times.
Oh my God.
But he rocked that mullet.
Cheers to Matt Damon and his mullet.
He rocked that mullet.
Okay, so.
Cheers to Matt. I'm going to piggyback on Matt Damon and go to his boy, Ben Affleck. And see, so at first she didn't think Ben Affleck. She didn't like Ben Affleck's character. He played a king,
and
he
blonde.
Had
dyed his hair, his eyebrows blonde, so it was like
hair and eyebrows. So the two hairstyles between the two of these guys was a little bit
midlife crisis.
I don't even know. No, I wouldn't. I don't know if it's midlife crisis. It was funny. They just went into these and it changed. But I felt like Ben Affleck was great. I mean, because it was our Batman, it was our Ben Affleck, and he was playing this kind of like king who was just kind of like
floozy,
you know, fly by the seat of his pants
Yeah.
with women and drinking and
And
partying.
he's by the way, he's a king married with 8 children, and his wife is pregnant. But the wife knows that he's like this.
He's
and
a philanderer.
He thinks he loves his
Did I say that
children.
right? Is that philanderer? Did philanderer? Is that-
Yeah, I think you said it right.
Yeah, like he's just having a good time and they
Yeah.
hate each other, and you know, but he played it well.
Yeah.
And he played an amazing,
I mean, you don't hate
like,
him.
and he has a heart for Adam Driver's character, which we'll get to. So sorry, I'm like kung fu fighting dust. So you know.
So
anyway,
basically,
go ahead,
the
tell me.
film is a lot of people were saying that it's like Groundhog Day, and I actually really appreciate that. So the film is from 3 different people's view of the exact same scenario. It's the view of Matt Damon's character, it's the view of Adam Driver's character, and it's the view of Matt Damon's wife, who is played by, what's her name again? I should know this. That was
Comer.
rude.
Her last name's Comer.
The Matt Damon's wife, the lead actress, Comer. And so each scene you watch through their eyes, and you feel like it's going to be a Groundhog Day, but it's not, because it's just the different scenario of the vision of what happened through each character. So it's similar but yet different is how I would say it. And it's a really long movie. I think it was like 2.5 hours long, but I didn't mind it. I felt like it went by really quickly. So it was a 2.5 hour movie that kind of flew by because of it being through 3 different characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was appealing to me is I feel like it's been a minute since Ridley Scott had anything like this.
Yeah.
And like and when you think of Ridley Scott, you think of epic movies. When he did Troy, I love Troy with Brad Pitt and all those guys. Like I love that movie. But when Ridley Scott did that, there was still like a Troy movie that felt very studio done, and even though it was epic, I feel like Ridley Scott honed in, and Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and everybody, they really honed in like an independent movie feel to this, where it captured it captured the look of the castles and the grunginess and the realness of. There was some scenes in there that were very mature, and you were on the brink of feeling so uneasy that you're like, oh, and then, but I feel like they actually reeled it in and did it good. I don't know if HBO Max edited it for HBO Max
Possibly,
or something,
I don't know. We didn't see
because
it.
I know that there were some scenes that were a bit touchy. But I feel like Ridley Scott did an amazing job on this one, and like Heather said, I didn't know it was like Groundhog Day. So I had no idea going in, and when I watched the first story of what was unfolding, the story unfolds through 3 of the main characters' eyes, which is Comer, who plays the wife of Matt Damon.
What I just said.
Right. I'm kind of clarifying it just a little bit. And Adam Driver, and what they end up doing is they tell 3 different stories from 3 different characters. So they tell the story through this guy's eyes,
the same story,
this guy's the same story,
Yeah.
but how they viewed the
Right.
story. So when you're first watching it and you see this first story start to unfold, you're kind of like, oh, okay, where's this going? Then you realize, oh, I get it. And once you get it, it starts to bring the story into like full effect, and then that long journey of how long the movie is starts to get a lot shorter and starts to feel a lot better.
So in a nutshell,
Right.
Matt Damon's character is a fighter, and he's like the best in, I guess, that country. He's a knight.
No, he gets knighted by the king.
He gets knighted by the king, and he falls in love with this woman who is, her father has a bad reputation. I'm not going to give too much away because we'll be here all day if I tell you we'll be here all day if we tell you the whole synopsis of the story. But Adam Driver actually falls in love with Matt Damon's wife, so they get married, and he falls in love with her, and she loves her husband, and he sort of looks at her in a certain way that Adam's character is like, ooh, she's looking at me, but she's really, you'll see. I don't want to give too much away again. It's hard to say without giving it away.
Yeah, don't say anything. Like Adam Driver just feels that
they have a connection. Ash, you gonna edit this part?
All right. So anyway, I was gonna say I will give it a 7.5.
I said a 7, right? Or did I say 7?
Yeah, no, you did say 7.
I
But
said 7.
I feel like I agree with you. It's
Okay.
7.5.
Okay. Cheers.
I feel like everybody involved in the Last Duel did a great job.
Yeah, it was a good.
It came out when people weren't really still going to theaters just yet, so it didn't get a fair shake at theaters. But it's on HBO Max, and it's definitely worth the watch. Peace.